Hello again. I'm John Omaha. I'm going to talk in this little segment about the emotion of anger. And we want to differentiate anger from fear. They're fundamental emotions. And we there's an earlier video that talks about fear. Anger is the emotion that we feel when something is blocking our path towards a goal that we want to accomplish. It's also what we fear when somebody invades our space, when we're not getting what we want. And many people were raised by emotionally immature parents who did not teach them how to manage their emotions of anger and who modeled poor anger management. I worked as an intern years ago in a program for perpetrators of domestic violence, and all of them had real difficulty managing the emotion of anger. So this is vitally important. You will use your awareness and your ability to manage anger in your relationship with your spouse or girlfriend or other significant others, or in your relationship with children, because children don't always do what we would like them to do, and anger is not the appropriate response. And then anger comes up so much in the workplace environment, and we want to be aware that the skill can be used there. So, in this skill, I ask clients to tell me a recent time that they believe they felt a low level of the emotion of anger. Um, it should be a relatively simple uh, time that they felt this. They will feel anger if they come back and find that they've been given a parking ticket, for example. Um, but it's not always the case. So for this one, I have to be open as a therapist to a wide range of behaviors. Like one client said, I feel angry when my husband uh, leaves his dirty clothes on the floor. There's an example. So I asked the client to be in that scene. Let's use that one where the wife is my client and her husband has left dirty clothes on the floor. And I ask her to notice sensations that she feels. And she will get, with the Theratapperon, she will get usually clenching in her jaw and tension in her neck and shoulders and maybe in her fists. Tension, tightness, there are several words that people use, is the significant sensation that people feel when they are experiencing the emotion of anger, because it's a preparation to fight. And so then I have the client say with the Theratapperon, the tension in my jaw, neck, shoulders, and hands tells me I'm feeling anger. Then, using skills that we have done, that I've already talked about, the grounding skill, I will have the client say, um, the tension in my jaw, neck, shoulders, and hands signals me to use my grounding resource. Now the client can tolerate the emotion. Remember, we've asked for a low level, and so because if we get a high level, the client's not going to be able to manage the emotion. And the whole goal of these skills is to recognize when you're feeling a low level, say, of anger, and use the skills before it escalates, before this organ over here called the amygdala starts getting activated, and that will shut down the left side of the brain where all these lessons are. So now the client's grounded and present. I help her just notice the process by which we got there, and then I help her using her disposal resource, probably sink disposal, to decrease the level by 90%. Now I will ask her to say to me, John, I felt anger when my husband didn't throws his dirty clothes on the floor. She says that, and I repeat it for her, and then I say, how is that for you to be heard? And she said, well, that's nice. I only wish my husband did. And I say, what I want you to do now, and I have extra chair in my office. I want you to put your husband in that chair over there, and I'd like you to tell him, Bob, I feel angry when you just throw your your dirty clothes on the floor. And he said, well, too bad. And then this is the part where I coach her to say, no, Bob, what I really need you to say is that you hear me. I want you to just say, I totally hear that you feel angry that I put my dirty clothes on the floor. And if he wants to keep his marriage, he'll probably say that. I hope he does. And she says, thank you, I feel heard. And so many people in their relationships with others is this kind of cultural, they just dismiss things. Well, that's what husbands do. We throw our clothes on the floor. So what? No big deal. It's your job. Pick them up. And then the children learn that because they watch that. They look up and they go, oh, this is what fathers do. They tell their wives that it's not their business to pick their own dirty clothes up. So this is the little lecture about anger. Sometimes, and I just want to add this at the end here, anger it's the same tightness, but it can be turned inwards and it becomes contraction. So people keep things in by contracting the muscles of their body. We'll talk about that in another video, I'm sure. Thank you very much.